Yes, guys. Hello and welcome back to the Spurs-related YouTube channel and podcast. I hope everyone's doing very well. I mean, of course, I normally say I hope everyone's doing very well, but I'm sure everyone is doing very well thanks to the announcement literally 5 minutes ago on the Spurs-related Twitter, and that is James Maddison is now officially a Tottenham Hotspur player. I'm buzzing. Andre, I honestly haven't stopped smiling since it was Here We Go, to be honest with you. I'm sure a lot of the guys in the chat are absolutely buzzing as well. What a signing. Talk me through it, Andre. How are you doing and how are you feeling?
I'm fantastic. I can't believe it. I'm honestly, it's surreal. Do you know how many times we go to sign someone, it just doesn't happen. Dan got his man. He did it. He signed him, and we saw in the news yesterday, like, they want to get this deal done quickly,
Yep.
efficiently, and we did it. He's a Tottenham player now, and I can't believe it. I'm so excited.
Absolutely buzzing. There's 30 to 40 of you in the chat already. Big yourselves up, smashing the support lately. Absolutely love it from the Spurs relatables. If you guys could all smash the thumbs up, let's start off with a nice 20, 30 likes, and I'm sure it will build up. But I hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to get to the chat in just a minute. But Andre, maybe you want to briefly give the news and the full details on this deal, obviously just being announced.
Perfect. So the big thing here is up for about £40 million, possibly with add-ons. We have signed James Maddison from Leicester. Very excited to see what's going to happen next with him. This was confirmed yesterday, and here we go. Or I guess this morning was the here we go. Yesterday for me, but yeah. And within the span of a few hours, medical was completed. The promotions are done, and Spurs have now announced that James Maddison is a Tottenham player for £40 million. That's a steal in my book. I thought we would have to spend more money.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's a ridiculous deal. Let's get to the chat. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Sukil was in here nice and quickly. And just to let you guys know, also, it's a deal till 2028. So worth mentioning as well. So a 5-year deal. I mean, incredible. 5-year contract just been announced as well, as per the club website statement, which reads, "We are delighted to announce the signing of James Maddison from Leicester City. The England international has agreed to deal with the club that will run until 2028. Maddison, 26, began his career with Coventry, where, and I'll let you guys read on. I'm sure you know about James Maddison, but the key details: £40 million fee, potentially with some add-ons there, and 2028 the contract lasts still. Incredible stuff. I'm going to get to the chat. Like I said, Sukil Maddison signed a 5-year deal. Iron Army's in here. He's buzzing. He's back. Lynch is in here saying even and all good news that Sonny. Yeah, I heard this on the radio this morning. So in South Korea, when babies are born, they put them as 1 year old, but they've scrapped it. So technically, Son has gone back a year. Obviously, we track it in English age terms, but it's interesting. Maddison official, absolutely love it. Chris Dundeel, love it. Hope you're well, mate. HMQ, well. We haven't scored a direct free kick for 25 years. Yeah, it does seem like that. Tudor's in here from Facebook. Big yourself up, mate. Always welcome to come over to the YouTube. And guys, I'm sure the chat will be absolutely flowing tonight. So if you do want to skip the queue, and I'll go straight to your comment, whack a super chat in, and we'll go straight to your talking point. I think you can do it for as cheap as 99p or 1.99. But we understand times are tough, so no one is obliged to do so. But it does help out the channel if you should wish to be in a position. Peter is saying, Maddison confirmed, fantastic news. I'm going to get through a few. I'm sorry I was saying I was going to stay calm this summer, but come on, you big Ange. Absolutely love it. I'm already on the hype train. I need to calm down a bit, maybe put some water over my face. And HMQ saying Arsenal can go away. Spurs lads in here, big yourself up, saying Arsenal have spent 170 million already. Felix in here saying hi guys. Big yourself up, Felix. Nice to see you as always, mate. Thanks for your support and everyone else that's commenting on every video. We honestly, truly, really appreciate it. So big yourselves up. Mia's in here. Big up, Mia. Really, thanks for joining as well. Adrian's in here. Maddison's signing cements Spurs stay. Mickey van der Ven next. Who's next, guys? Let us know in the comments who is next. But we have got a few things to talk about, of course, mainly to do with Maddison. Spurs lads saying, is there a video of Mad's announcement? They did like a little teaser thing of some darts he was picking up because he's a massive darts fan. And of course, his celebration is the darts. But yeah, absolutely incredible. We need more Maddison content. I'm sure it will come today. Well, tonight and tomorrow. Very efficient this window so far. Honestly, I don't remember being this buzzing over a signing. Like, I was never that buzzing about Richarlison. I genuinely wasn't, because I just see him as a bit of an average player. But this, very exciting. Pick up yourself, Hon, on Facebook, mate. Always crack over to the YouTube if you have got YouTube as well. Sick of saying bring in Tapsoba. But guys, I'm creating a talking point in the chat. I'm going to put it in a little banner. Let us know how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how buzzing are you with this James Maddison deal? Because for me, it's a 9 or a 10. Maybe some people have their reservations on James Maddison. I just would love to know if you guys are saying this is a 10 out of 10 signing, or what you're thinking. Maybe we need to bring ourselves down a bit. And Andre, I just can't. I'm so buzzing. What about you?
Well, yeah, of course I'm buzzing. I mean, I honestly wasn't sure if we were going to make this signing. I wasn't even keeping my hopes up, but here we are. We've signed our man. And I think this window's been decent overall. We've spent about, what, 86, 87 pounds this window, right? We've got 30 million on Kulusevski, about 16 million on Vicario, and then now 40 million for Maddison. I'm surprised the amount of money that we've been spending. So far, this window is a solid, well, with Maddison now, I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 already.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a new goalkeeper, which we'll see how he does, but lots of good stuff from Serie A. We've got James Maddison, who is clearly going to be like the key piece for our team. He's going right in there. Whoever was going to possibly be in that role that Maddison's about to play is about to stay on the bench for a while. And then we have Kulusevski. We signing him for a cheaper deal than we had originally dealt for. And I think that's solid overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see what the chat is saying again. Ainami saying 10 out of 10 transfer. We have solved a problem that has bugged us for so long. And Maddison is a type of player that any team in the Prem would want. Got to agree, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I think when you see the kind of money that clubs have been spending so far on certain players, I think we've done a really good deal. Look at Arsenal. They just spent around 70 million on Havertz, which to me, honestly, it seems like is way too much.
And 100 million apparently on Declan Rice coming in, 105 million.
Yeah, and I think to me, the fact that James Maddison, not only did we spend 40 million only, but he's also English. We avoided the premium.
Exactly. Sukil saying Juve want Christian Romero. Not seen any tier 1 or 2 sources say this. Maybe it's a bit of a rumor. Lemuel, haven't seen you in the chat before. Big yourself up, mate. If you're new to the channel, absolutely love that. He's saying if Spurs get Tapsoba and Van der Ven, it will be a 10 out of 10 window. Let's change the frame of the question because it's naturally moved on. Let's change the question to, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the window so far? Right?
Yeah, that would be a good one. Like I said, 9 out of 10 for me. I think that obviously we still need to make more signings, but based on how all the windows have gone so far, this is really good. This is a really good window. It usually takes, I don't even know how long it really takes for us to actually get a good signing in. And we're already three signings in.
Incredible. Following from Liberia, big yourself up, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Guys, I'm going to whack up as many comments as I can, of course. Mike Naylor's in here. Big yourself up. He's saying 8 defenders needed now. Yeah, only 8. And big up Lemuel. But guys, let us know on a scale of 1 to 10 what you would rate this window so far. Andre, I know we got a little bit of an agenda to get through and steering this live. Obviously, a lot of it is to do with talking about Maddison, but maybe you want to get things started in terms of that.
Sure. So, I mean, the big thing now is we need to get some money in, right? We have to sell some players. We can't just have an overloaded squad. And I think one of the biggest pieces of news that we've been seeing since yesterday, I know we got in a little bit of a heated debate over it, is Harry Winks. Leicester want their man. We got ours from them. Now they want theirs from us. Harry Winks probably going to Leicester. Certain amount of money, probably. I think you said 2 to 3, 7 to 8 at maximum. But it's something, right? So we'll see if that one goes through. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that'll happen?
Sorry, say again.
Harry Winks headed to Leicester.
Oh yeah, he's off. He's going. He's 100% off. Harry Winks is gone. £10 million. I think we've done well there, to be honest with you. As I was saying yesterday on the live, I thought we wouldn't get much more than 5 million for him, to be perfectly honest. 10 million for Harry Winks is incredible. And the man I was arguing with about the Harry Winks situation has joined us. I must have had a 4-course meal or something because, yeah, my dinner wasn't that long. But here he is, the man himself, Jack. How you doing?
I'm doing well, James. Yeah, certainly did enjoy my dinner. So I do apologise for the lateness, but I'm here nevertheless, and here to talk about the big news that is Harry Winks going to Leicester for £10 million. Harry Winks, 10 million.
That deals with that one.
Well,
Right.
All I'll say is, James, 10 to 15 million pounds. Jack Burford quoted it yesterday. You boys are undermining his ability and saying 2 to 3 million. Look who's right once again. Anyway, it's not all about me. Let's talk about the real things. Let's move on.
Yeah. I won't bite to that just yet. Listen, there's loads of comments coming through, guys. Keep your comments coming in. I'll read out as many as possible. But as I mentioned, there is always that super chat option. Louis saying need 2 centre backs to keep it going. Completely agree. Felix is saying, hey, how you doing? Good business from Levy so far. This is Peter. Mark saying, big up, lads. Sorry, the window is average at the moment. We need defenders on it. Doesn't matter. To an extent, I understand what Mark's saying here. And at the end of the day, the defenders are the priority, right? So if we don't sign centre-backs, this window isn't a 10 out of 10. So actually what you're saying, Andre, about it being a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, to some respects, Mark's actually right here. Until we sign at least 1, if not 2 centre-backs, this window is technically a 7 out of 10, but it's got potential to be a 9, 10 out of 10. So I would actually agree with this point to an extent.
Wouldn't you say, James, the window has just started? Like, the way we've actually operated has never happened before. We're actually getting deals done quick and we're getting wrapped up. For me, it's a 9 out of 10 start, that's for sure. But I totally agree with Mark. Centre halves are our priority, and all this work will be undone if we don't get 2 defenders, in my opinion. But surely we've got to be happy with how we're starting the window. This is unseen for Tottenham.
Yeah, I also another thing I noticed was I gotta respect the fact that when they don't agree with evaluation, they move on. Right? We didn't take our time with Raya and spent the whole window trying to scrape off 5 million or something. We just said, nope, that's too expensive. See you later. We got our goalkeeper Vicario, and then we went and got in the guy who Postecoglou is like, I need him for my squad when we start the season. So I gotta respect that, even if all the sort of criticism we've had for Vicario, we don't know how he's going to be. But they got it done. They got a new goalkeeper and went straight and got their man for James Maddison. And now it looks like they're making moves on Van de Ven. I think that's the next one.
I know, and I think what we've done here, James, is, and Andre, we've identified our targets, but we've also managed to have about 2 or 3 understudies to that target that are of similar quality and someone we still believe in. Before, I almost felt like our top quality was someone everyone wanted, and then that step below, no one was excited by the prospect. But if you look at Tottenham's business this summer, we've identified Raya as our number 1. We've realised they've completely overpriced us out of a deal, but then we've swiftly moved on to a more than established keeper that everyone can get behind. And then you've got Maddison. They were being quoted 60 million, but Spurs are like, no, the player's got a year left on his contract. He wants to come to Tottenham from all the reports we have gathered. And we've managed to get looks like a fantastic 40 million deal with add-ons. So the way we're actually operating this summer is extremely smart. We're realising who we want and we're bringing them in for good deals. We've got a lot left to do, but for me, it's the start of a new era. We're playing attacking football and we're bringing in players with real quality and youth. And something that is, I think we can all agree, that's definitely something I can get behind.
I agree. And I also, I've been saying for time, I think signing the youngest of players, we've tried that, hasn't really worked out. And sure, we can get an Alex Scott in there maybe, but right now we need to prioritize players who, when we sign them, we know that the first game, they're in the starting 11. And James Maddison is going to be in the starting 11 when we start the Premier League. And yeah, that gets me really excited over what's to come. And I think that at the same time, we're just getting lucky a little bit, I think, with the timing of everything, right? Leicester just got relegated. Newcastle sort of was scared off by the price tag. So then maybe they were a little bit more lenient with us. And I'm sure Postecoglou went in there and told Maddison, hey, what I'm going to be doing with this team, you are the key piece. So you need, please come in. You're going to be the key piece. You don't even understand the kind of project that I have, and you're at the center of it. I'm sure any player is going to be excited with that.
Exactly. Every man wants to feel wanted, and especially when you're getting a coach like Postecoglou, who's seen as a figure that instills belief in players. And he might not do it individually. I've seen a lot of reports saying he does it collectively. He treats everyone the same. He doesn't really give anyone that superstar treatment, but he treats them as a team. He gives those inspiring team talks, and he says he believes in every one of them. And he says, if you muck up and you say something, you do something that I've told you to do, I'm not going to hold you accountable. I hold myself accountable. And I think that's a really powerful thing and very non-egotistical for a manager to do. So for me, it's a really big sign in the right direction. You wouldn't see the likes of Mourinho and Conte come out and say it was my fault. I take the blame for that. But Postecoglou seems like that type of man. So yeah, all the things in the right direction. On the stream, Maddison confirmed. We've all seen the little video with a few darts on and a little 5-second clip, a little teaser. So yeah, for me, it's getting really exciting, and I'm sure as much as James is not showing it, I'm sure he's absolutely buzzing himself as well.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I think
I'm very buzzing, mate. You would have seen me the first 20 minutes. I'm just doing a little bit of Spurs related posting actually, Jack. Oh. But anyway, Andre, over to you.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, I just have to say, like, everyone here is very happy, obviously. I think, Postecoglou, I think, is making moves behind the scenes as well, right? I think the only real difference right now, sort of the variable that's different, is Postecoglou, right? I'm sure he's going in there and telling these players that what he wants from them. And that's why they've been so quick to join. We've been so quick to get these signings in. Don't forget that we have Paratici in behind the scenes as well, as we spoke about a couple episodes ago. It was revealed that he's sort of a consultant. So, I mean, you got those two helping Daniel Levy make signings.
I've got any inside sources on that, Andre. Sorry to cut you off, but Paratici is definitely pulling the strings. There's no way he's just doing a consultancy fee. That's his tag. That's what he's got to be perceived as. But this man is going to be in and around all the deals. He's going to be telling everyone what to do. He's the authoritative figure. And for me, although there's been a lot of problems around his appointment and it's kind of up in the air and what was going to happen to him with all these allegations, but I think he's made some great signings, and I definitely think he's involved in this Vicario and Maddison deal. And I think for me, that is kind of good that Levy's taking a step back away from the footballing side. I think he's a very good negotiator, I really do. So I'm glad this is probably why we've managed to wrap up the deal really quick. But it's nice that Levy's able to delegate some responsibility to Scott Munn and Paratici, because I feel like the footballing side will massively improve.
Yeah, and it's surprising to see that even without a director of football, we've had one of the best windows we've had in a while. We're getting a lot of signings in. So far, but I really do think that we're already moving on to the next player, right? But actually, this is a funny point here. Have you actually seen on Twitter those tweets that he had about Spurs that James Maddison had about?
Take them with a pinch of salt, right? There was tweets of like all sorts of players hating on Tottenham before they actually joined. Like, I remember Matt Doherty was essentially an Arsenal fan, and basically, I mean, Matt Doherty's not a good example. He was pretty much awful for about every single game other than about 6, but yeah, he's clearly going to be unbelievable for us, and I can't wait to get clipped if he's not. But he's such a good player. James Maddison is like, he's a player that you put in your dream team. He's a player that holds a lot of value for creativity, free kicks, pulling the strings, long shots. He's got pretty much everything you want in a modern day number 10.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely so excited, especially if Kane does, definitely stay. James Maddison in behind Harry Kane, Dejan Kulusevski and Heung-min Son. I think Sonny's going to be thriving under Maddison as well. 100%. Think what he was like with Ericsson when he pulled the strings for him. It's just such an exciting time to be a Tottenham fan again without trying to get overexcited, because I was trying to, even yesterday I was saying to someone I was talking to, I was saying I don't want to get overexcited if Maddison happens, but I naturally am just doing it because we've had such diabolical signings in the last couple of years that I couldn't name you one off the top of my head I was genuinely happy with. So it's great that we've suddenly signed a completely transforming player that transforms this average team into in the right direction towards a class team. Because now, although maybe you don't put James Maddison in the world-class bracket, he's certainly on that border between being a very decent player and world-class. And I just think him playing with world-class players in Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, it's just going to unleash an absolute beast of a front four.
Yeah, James. Tell you what, you sum that up perfectly. Very impressed, very impressed. But what I was going to move on to is it kind of reminds me of how Arsenal were last season. That the fact they just missed out on top four. The fans were in uproar, to be honest. The Spurs pipped them to the top four place, which we were all buzzing about. And they just missed a couple of signings. And then they signed established, good players. But that kind of went under the radar. Nobody thought it would transform them into the title-challenging team, which they ended up being, if we're being honest. Probably favourites for the league. And signing someone of the quality of Maddison, and maybe not Vicario because we don't know where he's going to be, kind of let Spurs go under the radar and just let them work in silence and see how good they really can be. Because no one was putting Arsenal really in the top four at the end of last season. Nobody really gave them a chance, and they thought Tottenham were going to go like this and Arsenal were going to fall back probably into mediocre. So let's Tottenham, with the squad they're building and the players they're signing, gives them the opportunity to really go for it this season with no European competition. So like I say, it's really exciting times. Postecoglou needs time and needs the fans back in. But realistically, this has got all the shapings to be a fantastic transfer window.
Absolutely. I don't think there's been confirmation on his number, although I would assume he's probably going to be number 11, right? Because Kane's obviously 10. And that, I think, makes most sense, 11. But let's see. Andre, they haven't announced his number yet, have they?
I've been looking through to see. I haven't seen anything yet, but we'll update you guys. I'm sure they'll release that number.
If you'd like to see a James Maddison number 23, I'm sure people can get a few chants out for that. Or is it a new James Maddison era? Does he need his own special number? But I think that'd be quite nice to see as well. So we'll find out.
Yeah. Charlie Eccleshare's just tweeted a very good point. He's saying a quick deal in the end, but one that has been almost a decade in the making. This is the Spurs Maddison story going all the way back to the scouting that led to the January 2015 interest and why club feels the time is now right and how he could be used. So we've been interested in James Maddison for 8.5 years, since he was 18 years old. I mean, it's pretty incredible to think that. It's incredible to think that we've got it done very quickly. Absolutely buzzing. But let's get through a few more comments. I've realised I've missed quite a few. Do you guys think we should get in Alex Scott? I do think we should. Maybe we'll have a little talking point on that in a minute, Lemuel. Mike's saying, is it time to sell Romero? Gets himself carded too often and seems to care more for his national team. We could get 3 or 4 good defenders. I'm gonna stay on the Maddison topic. So any questions not about Maddison, hold that thought, guys, for later in the video. But I'm sticking on Maddison for now. Maddison signing is 46.3 million. I would love that to be confirmed. We could probably do that.
Yeah.
I think
Sam is saying
it's with add-ons, isn't it? I think it's 40 million fixed fee with potential to grow it. So I don't think I haven't seen anything 46.3, but no, and I think just quickly to mention the price. For a player with Premier League proven quality and arguably probably in the top 5 creative midfielders in the league, you know what you're going to get with him. A dead ball specialist, finds pockets of space, great in tight spaces. If you've watched his if you've watched his YouTube confirmation clips, as I'm sure we all have, to get us in the mood for a Tottenham signing, he can score from anywhere with his right and left foot. He's extremely creative. And for me, 40 million in this day and age is an absolute bargain, really. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But for an English player as well, James, you've got to think Spurs have done fantastic business.
Well, that's actually what I was highlighting a little earlier before you got here, that when you think of the signings we've made, wasn't it like 60 million for Richarlison? This is a really good deal. They just signed Declan Rice. Arsenal just signed Declan Rice for almost over 100 million. We've gone in there 40 million with add-ons for an English player who's in the prime age of his footballing career. Then it's fantastic. I still can't believe that we have him now.
Yeah, crazy. Bobby Andrews, big yourself up, mate. Love the filter. He's saying, I am the first to criticise Levy, and rightly so, but you've got to give the guy a tiny bit of credit for realising he needs to put his hand in his pocket. Yeah, he's done well this time, to be fair. But as Jack was saying, Paratici's definitely involved. Like, come on. Poro has 23, I think. Yeah, it won't be 23. I'm not sure who said that. Zach Birkin saying Maddison
Mate.
really excited. Van
Get
der
moved
Ven,
around,
let's go. Josh Smith
Sorry, James.
saying let's not sell Romero. Bobby Andrews saying 38 million. I've just been sent from one of my mates plus add-ons. FC edits, absolutely love it. Looks like is that? It's Kulusevski. Levy is cooking. Felix saying 40 million is a steal. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I'd rather have Maddison over Rice. Completely different players, to be honest, but maybe value for money. I see what you're saying. Mike Naylor is saying, I can't wait for Spurs to win the league, then queue at the cinema to watch it and Postecoglou's story. Mike, you are truly on the hype train, aren't you? But guys, keep these comments coming in. Keep these comments coming in. Absolutely loving it. Andre, over to you, mate. And guys, half an hour in now. There's about 60 of you watching on YouTube, which is pretty incredible stuff. Let's see if we can go it to 100. But to help us do that, you have to smash that thumbs up button because the algorithms are all about the thumbs up and they're all about the subscribers. I know I mention it probably too much, but it's just how it works. It's the game, as you all know. So if you guys could smash the thumbs up for us, that would be great. I don't know how many there is. I think 30 likes. Let's get it to 50, guys. Let's keep this growing, keep this support growing. And we love the Spurs Relatables being with us. We genuinely do. All your comments help this channel grow and just creates a nice community as well for you guys can chat with each other and bring up talking points. Yeah, like I was saying, Andre, do you want to bring up maybe the next talking point or slide?
Sure. I mean, the next talking point now, right? We just talked about Maddison. We talked about Winks. I think the next step for Tottenham, at least in the sense of their agency, right? Not so much the players that are going to get sold, is now we go for center backs. Right, we've got Tapsoba that we still have as an option, but it looks like, according to Fabrizio Romano, it's going to be Van de Ven who's the next one. That it looks like that's the next signing we're going for. We have direct talks. Remember, I think we spoke a couple of videos ago that there were quotes of Van de Ven saying he's left it up to his agent to see if we're actually serious about him, and it looks like we've made contact now. So that looks like that's going to be the next one. I'm pretty excited about that. How about you guys? Are you guys excited about that one? James, I'll start with you. Do you think Van de Ven's the next one? Oh, he's a little frozen.
He's frozen.
How about you, Jack?
James, you there? I'll tell you what. I'll take over. I'll take over while James is sorting out his Wi-Fi. Oh, you're here, James. Go on. You take over. Mickey Van de Ven. Is he the man to transform Tottenham's back line? What do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely as a backup, for sure. For sure.
Oh, man. Okay, Jack. You go ahead and talk about this talking point.
Right. I'll jump in here, Jack. I'm sure James will sort out his Wi-Fi in just a second. But Mickey Van de Ven, I really like him. I think he's got all the traits to be a fantastic centre half, and I also think I've spoken numerous times on this channel. He can play as a left back as well, which is really important. You need to have the ability, but you don't need to. But it's great if you have the ability to play both sides, like we've seen Ben White do at Arsenal this season, and he's really thrived in a right back role. This allows us to potentially have one fullback playing higher up the field, which allows them to be the really attacking one, which means we can overload one hand side, but also keep defensively solid on the other. So it'll be interesting to see whether Van de Ven plays on the left, allowing Poro to move slightly higher up, or whether we keep Van de Ven as a centre half and we keep and play him alongside Romero. But we've seen lots of clubs are in for him. We've seen Liverpool quite like his services, but Tottenham look like they're moving fast. And Tottenham don't look like they're giving anyone else an opportunity, and they're learning from their mistakes. We're getting these players in. We're saying, we really want you. Postecoglou seems like he's on the phone or in a video meeting saying, you're my man. We're going to grow this club together, and we're going to be a real good team. And I think if a manager instills belief in you, you think, I tell you what, I can see myself doing well under him. and I'm going to go there and I'm going to prove everyone wrong. And I think that's a really powerful thing. We've seen clubs in the past, slightly lower on, go to their club because they can see a project there. They can see, right, he believes in me and I'm going to go there. Just like Jesus at Arsenal last season. He had plenty of other suitors, but Arteta was like, we want you to be our main number 9. And he's thrived there. And I feel like I've said, a manager that believes in you is a powerful thing. And I think that's probably what's happened with Maddison and might happen with someone like Van der Ven.
Yeah, I mean, you've summarized it perfectly, but I mean, in the chat, it looks like there's a sort of contrasting opinions with Van de Ven. Some people believe that it's Tapsoba we need to prioritize. Others, like Mike over here, fast and furious, exciting Van de Ven. We need him. Bobby here saying he's strong and rapid. But yeah, I mean, also don't forget he's versatile. He can play that left back position. So it is a matter of, I guess, what kind of style he plays.
I probably haven't made myself fully clear. For me, I think me and James did a video, 150 million transfer window budget. Please check it out if you haven't already. Loved making that video. And Andre, you spoke about him with us a lot before. And I feel like he'd be a great addition, but let's bring him in with someone else experienced. Someone else who can play that starting week in, week out role. We need 2 centre-halves, Andre, if not 3. And I reckon that we need to bring in Van der Ven alongside someone of the calibre of a Tapsoba. I've even said in my little spoiler here, I'd love someone like Nico Schlotterbeck to come in. It'd be a lot of money, but we need to spend the money because we're building our centre-half potentially for the next decade. So it's worth spending this money on someone young who can grow with the club and who has the ability to play Champions League football. Because let's be honest, that's what we want to get. That's the end goal.
I get that. I understand. Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good to go.
I understand that approach, Jack, and I do want Van der Ven as well from what I've seen, but I also want someone a little bit more experienced than him as well. So Van der Ven's 20. But what I'm saying is Van der Ven's 22, right? And people might say Van der Ven's the priority, or some people might say Tapsoba's the priority. I actually think it's both, and it's similar to what you're saying. I think we have to go for the more experienced one first. And then the backup is one young for the future. I'm echoing a lot of what you're saying here, but what I'm saying also is I think Van der Ven is one of many young centre-backs we could look at. So you've got this Van der Ven guy, but then you've got that young Leon centre-back that's very highly rated, especially from the Euro expert. He talked us through him. He's 20 years old, already starting for Leon week in, week out. The names completely escape me. I don't even know how. But he's the mustard, like loads of top clubs are linked with him. We sort of missed the Gvardiol boat but now, of course, because the guy's worth about £90 million and it looks like he's going to Man City. But what I'm saying is there's loads of centre-backs coming through. It's probably a position in the world of football where there is class players and we need at least 2. So let's get in someone that's budding and could be the next Gvardiol or the next whoever, Van Dijk, or you can name top centre backs, but let's get them before they're then linked with the big clubs for 50, 60, 70 million. Let's get them now for 15, 20, 30 million, and let's get a Tapsoba or a Aymeric Laporte or whoever for 40 to 50 and get 2 centre backs in, because if we're doing business properly, which it looks like we are at the moment, we need to sell Dier, Sanchez, probably Tanganga, if not on loan. That's 3 centre backs. Longlay's left on. Is he coming back? Not sure. There's argument for 3 centre backs, but 2 I would say is a must, right? Luke Haber, yes. Josh, thank you. Don't know how I've been up since about 6 a.m, so I don't know how I've completely forgotten his name. But we were going to do a video on him, so maybe guys let us know if you want us to do that. Guys, just check the numbers. There's like 70, 80 of you now. Absolutely crazy. Loving it. I'm sure everyone's buzzing. James Watkins is saying Tottenham are apparently going all out on a centre-back. Tapsoba is the main target. Yep, exactly that. So happy, sweet Spur, literally punching the air. Yeah, absolutely love it. Read out a few more comments.
Thank you. That's what I've been saying for time. Dier looks like he might be staying.
Who's saying that?
Sukil said it. But just to quickly point on that, James and Andre, Dier staying, for me, it's only a problem if we don't chip off Sanchez and we don't get rid of Tanganga, and Roden, because at the end of the day, we can't make all these changes in the summer. And Dier is probably the best of a bad bunch. Yes, ideally, he's not in our best starting 11. We all know this, guys. We know we need to move forward. But realistically, he's better than our other options. And it's not Football Manager, it's not career mode, so we can't get rid of them all in one window. And having that English link, having the likes of Maddison, Kane, and the other English players in the squad, obviously we're getting rid of Winks now. He might be a likeable player in the dressing room. It's not about that, but there's probably other priorities to move on. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. And not to mention that, honestly, depending on how this window goes, we could actually see all three, Van de Ven, Tapsoba, and Longley join Tottenham, because it looks like Longley might be going on a cheap. Van de Ven will cost around 20 to 25, maybe even 26 million. Then you've got Tapsoba, who will be the more expensive one, around 40 to 50 million. But if we get some money back from Sanchez and possibly Roden and Lo Celso and Dombele, we get money for those guys, and I think it's doable. And that would be a very terrific window. And I would feel bad for Dier if he stayed at that point, because I don't think he would see any game time at that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Andre, I feel like Dier right now hasn't probably played well enough to give himself a move that's as good as Tottenham anyway. So maybe for him, being at the club for such a long time, being an understudy, because don't forget, we've had loads of centre-half injuries this season. There's probably going to be a likelihood that he comes in. And let's not forget, sometimes Dier might still start the season. But sometimes these managers think, for some reason, all the managers seem to love Dier. I think Conte and Mourinho said he has all the hallmarks to be a world-class centre-half. I think us fans don't believe he has. But sometimes they go for what they already have. So we're going to have to wait and see anyway. Maybe Dier could turn into a good player. I haven't seen it yet, but I think he's a better understudy. But I wouldn't put it past Postecoglou if he just sees something in Dier again and he ends up starting. So I don't think it's the worst thing to keep him around the squad, as long as we're bringing in two suitable players to give him the competition that is required.
Yeah, I agree about that. But you know who we haven't talked about so far for some reason? And I know James is going to probably want to, I'm going to let him lead with this one, but Ben Davies. Is it his time to go, James?
Can't wait to meet you all. Come on, you Spurs.
Oh,
love that. Little exclusive on the old Spurs Twitter there. Seeing him in a Spurs shirt makes me very happy. Lemuel saying, get a striker, left wing, 2 centre backs. No, I don't feel bad for Dier. He deserves bench. Rob Black saying, I'm enjoying the summer window a bit more for once. Love that. Absolutely. And who's realistically signing Sanchez, aka Bambi on ice? One more comment. If we keep the ball and actually attack, we might not have to defend as much. I also think Dier should be back up CDM. Sweet sir, I'm going to hit that right on the nail on the head now and say I don't want him either. CDM, centre back, right back, manager. Don't want Eric Dier near this club anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm just fed up of giving this guy chances. Like, I could probably get a list of like 20 times we've said, oh, give him another season, or oh, I'll play him in a different position. Like,
I agree, James, but don't you reckon we need to move on probably the likes of Sanchez, Tanganga, and before Dier? I think
Dier, and I'm being, I get that. On the realistic side, we need to bring, we need to take out 2 centre backs that are actually worse than Eric Dier. But Eric Dier shouldn't like have excuses where, oh, we'll try and play him at CDM. Like,
I agree.
He's awful at passing, so he's clearly not a midfielder.
He's not mobile enough as well for a CDM. He's not 22 anymore. He's molded half. He's committed to that career path, and it hasn't worked out for him. You've got to stick with it. I totally agree. I like the idea. I like a bit of variety. We all like options here on SpursRelated. I've had plenty of my own, don't worry. But I don't think Dier's a CDM. I think we can move past that.
But Jack, this is the best way to summarise it, right? Eric Dier was a failed central defensive mid, moved to a centre-back. And now what we're going to say? He's a failed centre-back, so let's try centre defensive mid again. I mean,
it's not going to work.
Like, honestly, guys, I could smash my head over this mic. Like, I'm genuinely sick of Sweetsworth. Nothing against your comment. I just completely disagree. I have to say it. Like, I disagreed with someone on the podcast yesterday. I can't even remember who it was. And it's just like, I cannot have this Eric Dier might be good next season if he switches up formation and position in an Ange system. the guy can't do basic football, which is pass the ball, control it, drive out from the back. He's just like, he's not even much better than Davinson Sanchez, genuinely. And I think Davinson Sanchez had one of the worst seasons he's ever had last year when he came on against Bournemouth, didn't he? Made a mistake in 2 minutes and then was at fault for the 3-2 goal where we lost 3-2. I mean, although I'm absolutely buzzing about Maddison, the more I talk about the defence, the more I'm just thinking, like, the only slightly competent centre-back we have is Christian Romero, and that guy is an absolute psycho because he just goes in like some kind of assassin every time, which is just so unneeded, but I absolutely love it in a way.
You love it. You live for it. As a Spurs fan, though, it gets you to see it. And when you see a big challenge going, you think, right, we're up for it today. We believe. But I agree, James. There needs to be a conservative centre-half to complement his ability because he's got fantastic timing on challenges 80% of the time. But that other 20%, it's a red card or yellow card every time. We've seen what happened against AC Milan. We've seen those crunching challenges. It's the Argentinian in him, the fire, the passion. But we need someone who's going to rein him in as well. Otherwise, it's going to be red cards galore.
Jack,
you know
I
what?
think...
Sorry, go ahead, James.
I was just going to say, Jack, I think like, oh, right, yeah, I love the passion. I love his, just smashing into challenges and stuff like that. Great. But I also don't love the fact that we have some absolute dross behind that. To the left of him, left back have messed us up as well sometimes. So yeah, I just completely.
Looking to the future, James, you're spot on. And I think all us Spurs fans echo your thoughts, and it's extremely frustrating because this is a position we should have identified 2 or 3 years ago. We've been linked with the likes of Skriniar, Bastoni, Gvardiol, these game-changing players, these teams thriving in the best clubs in Europe, and we're still sitting here today saying we need 2, maybe 3 centre halves. But at the end of the day, it's a positive stream today. Tottenham look like they're looking forward, and they're actually investing in players that are going to help the club. We've made 2 very smart signings. We're already looking like we're in the talks with Mickey van der Ven. We've identified Tapsoba as our number 1 target. If we can get these over the line, it looks like a new positive era for Tottenham. So it is still exciting. It's just frustrating about the past, but you can't change the past. But if we can bring in Tapsoba, we can bring in Mickey van der Ven, then let's start thinking about Tottenham Hotspur, about being a serious football club again. Because, James, it's big news. Oh, Billy Bailey, look at him with the £10 donation. What a legend!
Big up.
But yeah,
big up, Bilbo.
And Billy, let us know if you're excited to see this huge James Maddison signing. I'm sure if he's a big fan of the darts, Billy might be. So Maddison loves the dart as well. Bringing the vibes back to Tottenham. It's exciting times.
No, really, really appreciate that, Bill. Obviously, mate. Thank you very much. And Bill, I know you lost your interest in Tottenham last year. I know that obviously from a personal point of view, but hopefully see you back at the lane next year with James Maddison and the likes joining the team. Bit of hype, new manager, not terrible football. Hopefully, exciting times, like Jack said. Thank you, Bill. Really appreciate that, mate. Sweetspur is saying, and guys, also super chat option is there if you guys want us to just basically, Cole is saying, create a talking point. That feature is there and it helps the channel massively. So big yourselves up. There's 80 of you on YouTube right now. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's great numbers. Obviously, there's a lot of hype. So big yourselves up, guys. I think 50 likes as well. Incredible stuff. Sweetspur is saying, big up your Instagram page. Love it on there. Thank you, mate. Really do appreciate that. And that message will be passed on to the rest of the team. It's not just Jack, Andre, and myself doing the content there. As a team full of people, it's pretty relentless at the moment with all the news going on. But yeah, we love it over there. If you're not following our Instagram, guys, it's at SpursRelated over there. If you do want to keep up to date on the latest news and everything else, all those great graphics as well that are created are over there. Felix is saying if he has a competent defender next to him, he won't have to make such rash challenges. A chair would be more useful in a 1v1. Big up, Peter. Nice to see you, mate. Always great to see you in the comments. Spurs lad saying, what do you do with Reggie and Lo Celso? Jack, what do you reckon?
It's a really interesting one because I think with Lo Celso and Reguilon, we at once thought we had two real gems on our hand. I think Reguilon, we were worried that he was going to go back to Real Madrid. That's how well he performed in his first 6 months, and he was definitely one of the strongest left backs in the league. But as time's gone on and with injuries going on, he just really hasn't put in the best performances in a Spurs shirt. But that was playing left in the left wing back role. Now we're moving back to a back four, and with us potentially spending lots of money on priority positions like centre half, and we already have done on Maddison, maybe he does deserve an opportunity, because if you look at it, really, we don't have many traditional left backs, and Reguilon has the ability to go forward and defend. I'm a big fan of Destiny Udogie. I'm looking forward to what he can deliver, but it's yet to be known if he can play in a back four in a inverted role, because he played in a back five previously at Udinese. So it's interesting. For me, I would like to see Reguilon move on, but I wouldn't be one to say he can't come anywhere near the starting 11 or squad. Regarding Lo Celso, a lot of people have said he can thrive in that number 8 attacking role. He's fantastic for Argentina. He plays so well every time. I think his percentile stats as well are fantastic. He's a brilliant with driving with the ball, getting out of tight spaces, also good in the challenge, like we've pretty much said about all Argentinians. They're always up for the fire and passion and get stuck in with the challenges. But I feel like that race might have been run with Lo Celso. But I'm interested to see what all you guys think, and maybe James and Andre have a different view to mine.
Yeah, on my end, I mean, you guys know that I've always been sort of a little bit more lenient on Lo Celso and Reguilon to an extent, thinking they could possibly do more at this club, especially Reguilon, because when he was in his prime, he was really good. Obviously, he made some pretty rash mistakes, some pretty rash decisions, but I do think that he could thrive under this back four. I think the issue was that just in a back five, it just wasn't working. So. And he is a natural left back, so it would make sense. I would say out of all the players to get rid of, he is not the priority at all. I think we have we have other players that just need to go before we start getting rid of players where we might be left wanting a player in that position if we get rid of them. So definitely Reguilon I would keep. Lo Celso, I mean, I would personally get Ndombele out first. That guy's what, 200K a week? That's he's a priority to me.
That's what I was going to actually say. I think that's a good talking point. And if James has got time on his hands, I think it'd be good to get a little poll going to see what the Spurs fans would prefer out of Ndombele or Lo Celso. Because for me, I don't believe Lo Celso wants to be there. I feel like he's played well for Villarreal, and he feels like his time is to move on, and he doesn't want to play in a Spurs shirt. I think Ndombele's on the other end. I think he hasn't delivered the expectation that all of Spurs fans thought he would when he first come in. He's shown signs of excellence, but if we're being realistic here, he really hasn't delivered. And I feel like he wants that one more opportunity. He probably had 3 or 4, but for me, I would rather Ndombele than Lo Celso. So I think it's an interesting
poll, Jack?
So the poll for me is Ndombele or Lo Celso. Out of 1, who would you give that one more chance to? So for me, it's Ndombele. I think James and Andre are in the camp of Lo Celso, but I reckon this will be fairly even. I think Lo Celso has been fantastic for Argentina and has showed that he can be a very good and suitable player. Wouldn't be surprised if he does well at Aston Villa, if that's somewhere he moves to. Even Barcelona have come out and said they're interested in his services. Or would you like Ndombele? Because he's shown glimpses of pure brilliance. His technical ability is one of the best for centre mids in the world. But like we say, his running, his tracking back, his laziness, his attitude hasn't been up to what's required to play for a Tottenham team. So let us know in the comments, guys. I think it's an interesting talking point because
I put a poll up.
Go for it. Let's see what they say. But like we say, James, recruitment now is crucial because we spent, I think, £45 million on Lo Celso and £60 million on Ndombele. That's without wages.
Yeah, but I personally think the negatives for Ndombele outweigh the negatives for Lo Celso just because of that 200K a week, the amount of money we spent, and just what he would do. I think there's also the chemistry. You got to think about the fact that Lo Celso, Reguilon, Romero, there's that language barrier that wouldn't exist because all of them speak Spanish. So something to think about on that end as well, right? There's always more to it than just what's on the football pitch, and I think that is a big point for me. Why I would think if you have to pick one, I think Ndombele is the one that needs to go. You saw how things ended, I think, right before he went on his loan, right? He was practicing on his own, I think he was booed by the fans and he left. He was really, really mad as he was leaving the pitch. It's just not really good for morale or for the vibes of the team. So I don't know. I think it'd be best for him to just move on. And if you can find a suitable team who wants him, then just sell him for whatever price you can and just move on.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, I understand your point of view as well. I think it's more who wants to play for the club, who believes that they can nail down a position in Postecoglou's system. I think you've got to believe in your own ability. I've seen lots of reports saying Lo Celso hasn't been happy at Spurs, and pretty much the same from Ndombele, but I've seen less of it, and I've actually read quite a few times that he actually wants to have that one more chance at Tottenham, so maybe that's swaying my opinion. But like we say here, let's move on to this Bryan Gil talking point, because I think all Spurs fans can talk about. We've seen quality that Bryan Gil can bring. He's been brilliant in some games, but he hasn't delivered the end product. A lot of Spurs fans have said he's quite lightweight. He hasn't scored many goals or really assists, but he's been fantastic for Sevilla, and he was really crucial in their run to winning the Europa League this season. So is he a player that's going to thrive in Spain, or does he deserve the opportunity, and has he got the ability to start or maybe make a real impression for Tottenham this season?
Well, I think that you also have to think about the fact that we do have that winter window, right? So keep him, see how he does, and if it's not working out, loan him out in the window again, in the winter window. I think that's what we did last season, right? We kept him, didn't really work out. He didn't really have that end product. He was being subbed on a lot, but not much was really happening. But you did see those moments of brilliance from him. The idea of that loan is that when you come back, you show you've gotten some more experience and you show why you need to stay at the club this time. So I think it's up to him on whether or not we actually loan him out again and go from there. But for now, I would keep him, give him another chance. That's what the loans are for. You get them out, they get more experience, they come back a better player, hopefully, and they show you what they can do. So to me, yeah, I would say give him a chance and see what happens from there, especially because now we're playing a new system under Postecoglou. But I like this. I like how Mike's saying here that Lo Celso would pal up with Romero, but that could be troublesome. Never mind. That could be troublesome. Never mind.
I think troublesome as in for the opposition. I guess that's what he's saying. He's saying that they've got that Argentinian chemistry and they'll stick together. So it would be interesting to see if they do get on well. But like you say, not all teammates do get on well. So time will tell. But guys, if you're still in here, let us know in the comments. Put down in those comments and say, does Bryan Gil deserve an opportunity this summer? Is he going to be perfect for a Postecoglou? Yeah, he does need to go to the gym. Don't we all? But Bryan Gil playing as a Premier League footballer certainly can. But put it in the chat if you think Bryan Gil has the hallmarks to be a fantastic winger. We know he's got fantastic technical ability. He's brilliant at driving at people, and he is quite fast. So I feel like having that space out wide, he really could play well. Before he was playing in a counter-attacking system, and he kind of had to make something out of nothing. He wasn't really given much space. But playing in this new system, high up the field, pressing, as we know, he's very fast and has a fantastic engine. I don't know if everyone remembers, but in Conte's gruesome pre-season, he was one of those players still running till the very end while everyone else was dropping out like flies. So clearly he has the fitness and the engine to run all the time. So maybe he could be a player. If he wants to be here, I'll be very interested to see if Bryan Gil can have a stellar season.
I think it's just a matter of strength as well, right? He was being sort of outdone by all the defense. They're just pushing him around. And I think Lemuel has a really good point on that, that hopefully he has, he's gotten a bit more of that strength in him to handle the Premier League and how intense it can be and how much pushing and shoving there is in this league. And Bryan Gil has all the hallmarks to be a rep boy. I mean, it honestly, at the end of the day, Bryan Gil just it's up to him to show that he's gotten better than what he was when we loaned him out at the halfway point last season, right? But I like that everyone here is agreeing. I think we need to give him a chance. That's the whole point of a loan, is you leave him out, and then when they come back,
about his size and strength, I agree. He definitely needs to get stronger. But I'm not comparing Bryan Gil to Messi by any means. But if you look at players who are quite small that tend to be wingers, they use their lower sense of gravity to turn before they've even got the chance to be pushed off the ball. They win a lot of fouls, but before the defenders even have the time to react, they're spinning in behind. They're peeling off the last shoulder. They're shifting the ball out their feet and they're driving, which doesn't really give any people time to react. And I think that's important you look at some strong players in the Premier League, Raheem Sterling is incredibly strong. He holds off players really well, and he's small, but he's very strong because he uses low centre of gravity and he sprints in behind. He's an explosive player, just similar to Bryan Gil. So it will be interesting to see if he can get slightly toned, if he is improved his lower centre of gravity. He could be brilliant. And the more I talk about it, the more I'd really like to see how he performs in pre-season.
Yeah, I think it also just depends where we loan him out. I think if we do loan him out again, he needs to go to a Premier League club. We can't be loaning him out to La Liga because that's where he came from, and he came here with almost no strength whatsoever. We need to send him to a Premier League club that's going to actually help him get experience in the Premier League, get more experience with these players who, honestly, yeah, he's got he can finesse them and whatever, and just get through all the movements. But if he's just going to get shoved to the ground, then it's not going to work out. So he needs more time there. But I like what Derek's saying, that it'll suit Gil much better. High pressing, quick passing. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I mean. It could be a lot to do with the fact that the system might be better suited for him.
That's it. The system, the belief that Postecoglou might instill in Gil. That's it. It's a new era. It's a new beginning. He's got a fresh start, and I'm sure James has got something to say on whether he believes Bryan Gil deserves the opportunity.
God, put me straight back on the spot, Jack.
I know you're up to the task, mate.
Bryan Gil is a player I really do like. He's young. He's quick. He's full of energy. Amazing dribbling. I think I heard you guys say, does he need to bulk up? Yes, a little bit. But listen, he's not gaining much experience in the Premier League by being loaned out to Sevilla or Valencia. So I'd like to see him get a run out in the Premier League, whether that's off the bench. Now we don't have Lucas. Maybe at one point, even under Nuno, he was our best option off the bench for a couple of months. So you've got to remember that as well. Yeah. I mean, I think he should be used as a squad rotation player and a player that we can use as an impact off the bench if you need someone to start running at defenders down the channels and, create a bit more space for maybe Maddison, Kane and Son, right? So he could come on for Kulusevski maybe on minute 70 on some games and cause problems.
Yeah, and don't forget that I'm pretty sure that Kulusevski and Bryan Gil are either the same age or just 1 year apart. Like, if Bryan Gil's going to step up, it needs to happen now. Because right now, Kulusevski and Bryan Gil are on two separate levels in terms of their career and what they do for Tottenham.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Let's read the chat. Where are we up to? Postecoglou's system will suit Gil much better, says Derek. Chucks is saying, remind me a lot of David Silva, so maybe can play an 8. Sebastian saying, when Son is away from Asian Cup, Gil will get his chance then, I think. Big up ADX1NS. Good to see you as usual. He's saying our attackers could be Gil on both wings, Son on both wings, Kulusevski and Ten on right wing, Richarlison and Kane at striker, and Richarlison at right wing as well. Sorry, left side. So Maddison can play on the wings as well. Richarlison has to play. Says Spurs fan. I think Richarlison's honestly not going to be in that 11. I can tell you that for nothing. And Spurs lad saying, I need the Mads announcement video, the longer one, not 30 seconds. Yeah, I think it's all on the Spurs YouTube channel. Let's do one more talking point and we'll wrap things up. Going back to the Maddison thing now. What do you guys expect in terms of his goals and assists this season? So put in the comments if you think he's going to get 10 goals, 15 goals. Do you think he's going to get 10 goals, 10 assists? Let us know what you think. Let us know how many goals and assists you think he's going to get in the comments. And I'm going to flip the question over to Andre. How many do you think he's going to get?
I think that he'll get a solid 8 to 10 goals and at least double-digit assists.
Oh, okay, Jack.
I'm going to go. I actually believe, as creative as Maddison is, I feel like he's going to score more goals than he will assist. So I'm going to go with 12 goals, 6 assists. I think a few of them will be free kicks, which will be fantastic to see. We've been starved of free kick takers in recent years since Ericsson left us. And we'll probably score a lot more corners. As much as we were impressive last year, aerially, scored a lot more than in previous years. Very helpful due to our set piece coach. That I wonder whether they will stay on. But I think that will definitely see numbers grow. And I think I could see Maddison, scoring 12 goals, 6 assists, and I think that'd be fantastic numbers for a debut season in a Spurs shirt.
Yeah, I personally had in my head, don't know why, I had 11 goals, 8 assists. I reckon we're going to just see just shy of 20 goal contributions this season, which would be a fantastic return, to be honest with you. And don't forget, it's not all about the goals and assist contributions. We're going to be looking at chances created, XG, progressive plays, how many times he's, been involved in build-up for goals and created stuff with Kane, Son, Kulusevski and co. So, yeah, really, really exciting to see what the chat is saying to this comment. Chucks is saying 10 goals and 10 assists min. Hockey assists will be a lot. Yeah, hockey, they get 2 guys assisting, don't they? ADX at 1NS is saying 15 assists and 8 goals. So he's gone for more assists than goals. Against what you're saying, Jack. Interesting stuff. And SpursRelated is asking, when's the away kit released? I believe it's normally around July, so probably very, very soon. And it'd be good to see, obviously, James Maddison in that as well. Andre, just quickly checking any other news tonight? Any other news we should be aware of?
Well, other than honestly, I think we touched on all the talking points. Personally, I think that again, Winks, that looks like it's the next deal that's going to get done. And then, other than that, going for the center backs, I think that's the next step. You'll probably be getting a lot more videos, guys, of the center backs and what's going to happen with them. Van de Ven, Longley, Tapsoba. That's the next one. And seeing how Tottenham's been working this window, probably won't take long before we get more news about Van de Ven.
Absolutely, yeah. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned for that content. Make sure you're subscribing for more videos that are coming up on Van de Ven, on Tapsoba, and the likes. Jack, I'll let you say whatever you're going to say in just a second. I just wanted to wrap up that poll that I put out. Out of Ndombele and Lo Celso, which would you give one more chance to? 61% out of the 33 votes have gone for Ndombele, so they're with Jack. So still close though, 61 to 39% in the voting, which is very, very interesting, of course. Sorry, Jack, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I think it's important now that Tottenham don't rest on their laurels. We had a fantastic start, but let's not slow down. Let's learn from our previous mistakes. Let's identify our targets, which it looks like we've already done, and let's act on them quick. If we can bring in the likes of Van de Ven, Tapsoba, then move on to another winger, they're all ready for pre-season. We've got time for Postecoglou to work under him, and we've got time to build towards our first opening game against Brentford. So yeah, I'm excited now, James. This stream's been great to catch up with the fans and talk about how excited we should be and how good Tottenham have the capability of being next season. Let's not slow down. Let's bring the players in and let's look forward to a positive season.
Yeah, good summary, Jack. Scott, big yourself up, mate. Really enjoy reading your comments and all the offline videos. And guys, all the offline videos, when I say offline, I mean pre-recorded videos, not a live stream that we upload. I read all the comments. One of the last videos got, I think, 100 comments, and I replied to every single one. So if you ever wanted to chat football, ask questions, whack them in the comments because I've been replying. And Scott's one of the guys that gives me an absolute essay, and I love reading it in the morning. I absolutely love it, and I reply to it, of course. One more, Alex Gonzalez. Anyone here an NFL fan or watch NFL? This reminds me of a turning of a page for the club like happened with the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, the Bengals suddenly did well, Alex. I am an NFL fan, but I haven't been for long. But yeah, what you're saying is spot on. It seems like this is a statement signing for sure. And SpursRelated is saying we play Shakhtar first. Guys, absolute crazy support tonight. We nearly peaked 100 live viewers at once. Is incredible. Loads of new subscribers. If you're still watching and you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. If you're still watching and haven't pressed like, please do press like. It helps massively. And yeah, like I said, keep supporting the channel and we'll keep providing the content that you guys wish for, which is news updates, live streams, vlogs that Jack will be doing when we're back at the Tottenham stage. Maybe even I'll get there now. I'm excited about the season because I'm buzzing, and maybe we'll even get Andre flying back over. But guys, that is all we have time for on today's stream. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please, please, please do, as I said, subscribe, like, all that great stuff, and comment if you're new. I'd like to reply to you guys. And guys, stay active on our YouTube. We've got many more videos coming this week, so expect another one tomorrow. And that's all we've got time for, guys. Have a great evening, and we'll see you very soon. And as always, guys, remember,
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, Spurs! Come on, Maddison. Love it.